Currently, I'm at KS Motorsport to talk to him about engine swapping, and there are a lot of questions everyone has about it. So let's start with it. Starting with what is engine swapping like, and how does it go about? If I want to engine swap a car, and if I come to you, so what is the first part that we go through?
So first is to I ask people that what's the application going to be? Are you going to use it as a night ripper in Bombay or in your city, highway cruiser? What is the reason you're doing that engine swap?
Right.
You've got a car, an engine is run out of juice, so
Right.
you want to keep the car, to replace the engine, you want to get a whole another body and put it into that. Different reasons people do engine swaps.
Of course.
Ideally, I think people do engine swaps, and I like to do is because we don't have those many rear-wheel drive cars in India.
Of course.
So rather buy an older generation BMW or whatever you find rear-wheel drive and put in a bigger engine like what you did.
Right.
For your Laurel was diesel,
Yeah.
and then we put in a petrol
SR20D.
Yeah. So your reasoning was different. You already had the car, you wanted power, so we changed the engine.
Right. So it's different for everyone. Basically, so if you want to go racing, probably the engine swap is different, the whole setup will be different.
You want to drift, it's different. You want just a car to do time pass on the streets,
It's different. Street cars different, race cars different,
Yeah.
drag cars different. So we can do engine swaps for everything that you say.
Correct.
Right. And I think there are a lot of questions around engine swaps. Like people have these things in mind as कि engine swap करना है मेरे को, तो खाली engine लाया, इसमें से engine निकाला and engine place कर दिया. I know that is not true because it doesn't happen that way. There are a lot of parts that come in with the engine, or you get the engine अलग से and then you get parts अलग से and then you fit in everything. So what are the kind of parts that you want to get if there is a specific kind of engine? For example, like you did the W124 2J. So if we take that into consideration, what was the whole chapter when you did that?
So the 124 was damn simple. It was a driving car.
Okay.
I bought it, and I had already planned to put a 2JZ into it because
Right.
you know people said it's difficult to do and here India में नहीं होता है and all that. So I said okay done. So उसके लिए we bought the engine and gearbox together of Toyota. I removed the engine gearbox off the Benz, took it out, put that engine of the Toyota in, mated it with the rear diff of the Benz.
Right.
Had to do all the wiring obviously so that the AC works. Radiator we had to change, fueling system we had to change. There was nothing much because that was not a performance oriented whole thing.
So it was a daily driven sort
Yeah,
of
I wanted an
engine
automatic
swap.
put in D
Right.
with AC on and drive in the city.
With a little more of power.
Yeah. To
Right.
compensate because the weight of the 124 it feels like a boat. The 2JZ feels good. So it was not an out and out race car or anything. So when you want to build a faster car, then of course we'll upgrade turbo, we'll have standalone ECU
Right.
and other aspects, the exhaust pipe,
Right.
bigger cooler, all of that. So it depends again what is the application. So there's a provision to do nothing at all, just put engine, fire it up, of course with the associated fueling and cooling
Right.
system.
Right.
You just fire it up and you go home, or you do the full thing like you put the engine, it's more horsepower, then you do suspension, it's more horsepower, then you put the brakes, it's
Right.
even more horsepower, then you have a rear diff,
Right.
chassis stiffening, seam
Right.
welding, then it goes on. Depending
Right. So
on
more
how
the
horsepower,
horsepower,
more the horsepower, more you have to spend to have control over it.
Stability,
Stability.
stiffness,
Correct.
like a lot of parts.
Yeah,
Right.
so I have like this, it's like a thumb rule which I think sounds about right is every 100 horsepower should cost you 10 lakhs.
Is that so?
Yeah. Your car is 200 horsepower. Go home, check your books. I'm not saying this, go home, check your books.
Don't tell the amount.
Yeah.
That should be a secret.
Yeah.
What if I want to sell the car in
Sure.
future? So
You can ask for more because now I will increase my price.
definitely.